These stories are for those that are trying to help someone else in their life. While my daughter's crisis was unfolding at home, see the previous video on fake ID, a quieter turnaround was happening on the track. An athlete of mine, while I was still coaching, found herself at odds with expectations. Now, her backstory is the ideal. Good home, good parents, good values. In fact, her parents were somewhat of a model for myself being a parent. They were always present and always listening, so what could I have possibly done to help? Well, as a friend of mine told me during my daughter's ordeal, sometimes they just need to hear it from someone that's not you. After throwing practice one day, she sat on this little set of rundown bleachers we had out on the field. And since I'm the coach, I'm always the last to leave, so I went to check on her. Her shoulders were slumped forward. She was looking at her bare feet between shoe changes. Throwers wear special shoes. She told me volleyball wasn't something she enjoyed and she wanted to quit. I asked if there was any benefit to staying that she could see, and all she had was that they lift weights. It's very useful for throwing, and we didn't have time during our practice. I knew the family from previous endeavors, oddly enough from the gym. She was always there at 4 a.m. every weekday with her father and her brother. So I asked if that was not enough, even offering to help her with a lifting plan. But I also told her she'd have to keep herself accountable if she was the only one lifting. At least in volleyball, she'd have someone else to push her consistently. She said she'd think on it. Ultimately, she stayed in volleyball. This may seem trivial, but over the next 4 years, I saw something emerge I had never seen in a teen before. Grit. Not having to spend the mental bandwidth to keep disciplined in lifting, she was able to focus what was saved on a job, academics, and throwing craft. So much so, she outgrew me as a coach, even helping our other athletes improve. We spoke often about next moves, fine-tuning, work, the real world. Sometimes I just sat after practice and listened. Her parents are some of my favorite humans on this planet. They're hardworking, they're kind, but they're also assertive with their kids. They don't ask for much, but they'll work to get what they have. And that showed in their daughter. She just needed someone else to talk to. Our team won state 3 years in a row, in large part because of her. She was 20% of the team's points, and because of her help in coaching, we got another 10% of the team's point from throws also. Not only that, she got a nearly full-ride scholarship between throwing and academics. She's thriving in college, recently finishing in the top 1% at an indoor meet with straight A's. The lesson here is that the kid doesn't have to be bent or broken to need you. All of them need someone to listen, someone to bounce ideas off of, and that someone needs to be real. Not a peer, not a psychologist, though they do have their place, but just a real person that cares and will listen.